conflict life, and he's having a day today. So I think in honor of being real and authentic, which we always try to do, instead of asking a question today, maybe share what's on your mind, honey, and share how you're working through it, and just to help people out there that maybe having a hard time themselves. Maybe someone out there right now is having a really rough day and they're asking themselves, is this all worth it? Struggling. I don't, life doesn't seem so great.
Yeah. I mean, some days, yes, maybe some days you just want to be in it. And things come up that trigger you. Coming back to, I guess, my hometown here in PA is extremely triggering for me because it's the man that lived here for, most of his life died here, basically. I'm 40 years of building a business that you're so incredibly proud of that suddenly you have to sell and you're not a part of anymore. And that person you were that ran that company and took care of those clients and took care of the guys and paid the guys and did all the hard things, you felt needed, appreciated. You had a purpose, you had a job, and as much as driving around the country and seeing amazing things, how incredibly gifted we are that we get to do that. Truly blessed, and I'm very grateful that I get to do that. I get to actually see different cultures and different places and different temperatures and different things, and doing it with the person that I want to be with more than anyone. To be able to do that, it is incredible. But coming back here, that's why I don't like to come back here. I don't like to come back here. As much as I miss and want to see and hang out with my kids, it is so incredibly hard coming back here because you're reliving a death of a person that you once were. And I don't care, they say time heals all wounds. I don't know if it really is true. I don't know if that's true. I've watched people lose their children. I've watched people lose loved ones.
I think time only lessens the pain.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe because it numbs you. But, I haven't had to go through any of those things.
Yeah.
And I feel so much for people that have, people that have lost their partners, it's I can't even begin to imagine that. Mm-hmm. And dogs. I can't imagine living in this thing back here. Jesus Christ. Oh, how that's going to go. But it is that's the thing, you go through it. The thing that helps me is I know I'm in it.
Yeah.
I know I'm in it.
You're
and tomorrow's another day. And I know, and I guess honestly, probably more than anything, I know that if I step back into that role, I would definitely slip into it, and I would be the frog in boiling water, and all of a sudden it would be, oh my God, what have I done? Why did I come back into this? Why am I doing this to myself again? But one of my buddies who I worked alongside for a lot of years, an electrician, was on the site today, and he said you can't miss this, and I said I do miss it, but missing is different than being.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I can leave here if it's uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And You know, I don't pretend. Yeah, I've been in hard things in my life for sure. You know, just like we all have. We all have to work through hard things because we're fucking human.
Yeah, just being human. I was thinking that today. I was literally just thinking, like, I don't care who you are. One of, you know, the most enlightened people on here. If you're a human, it can be really challenging to be a human. Just to be a human.
No matter where you are. It doesn't matter where you are.
Can be
That's
challenging. Yeah. So I think we all need to extend ourselves some compassion and grace and patience and love. More than we can even imagine. All of us do. You know, and I've watched the growth of him, and I've watched the growth of me.
Compassion and grace for yourself.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We
Absolutely.
all need to have more compassion and grace for ourselves and patience for ourselves, because being human is difficult.
Yeah, you don't have to look far. You're going to find something to be unhappy about. You're going to be fun. You're going to really easily find something to be angry about. You're going to find something easy to be depressed about. You do not have to look far. You could just drive on a road and say, wow, these roads suck because I'm bouncing all over the place. But then on the other hand, it's like, wow, I'm so grateful for these roads, because back when Ford was first making cars, the roads weren't like this, and they were thinking, oh my God, how great would it be if, you know, we actually had a road we could actually drive on. Well, these roads you can drive on, it might be a little bit bumpy in spots and potholes, but they get us where we want to go at a very decent speed at 75 miles an hour, right? Where they couldn't do any of that. You know, my grandfather would have gave anything to be able to drive a truck like this. My dad would have gave anything to drive a vehicle like this on the roads and go across the country. Oh my God, that would have been a dream. And here's the thing. It doesn't matter if you do that or if you don't do that. If you wear weight, if you have heaviness, if you have trauma and things that you carry around with you, it doesn't matter where you go, they are going to be right on your back. And it's the same with us. I still am mourning the person that I was, because I was really good at it. And now not having that, I mourn that. There was a big giant piece of me, most of me, died. And you know, you mourn things. You mourn your children. I mourn my daughter because when she was, 5 and 7 years old, she was the most amazing love that I ever felt in my entire life. My kids, she's not around anymore. I have a 19-year-old who's an amazing, accomplished person, incredibly smart, beautiful, phenomenal. These kids and guy with the 3 kids camping or whatever, and loving every minute of it. But then there was a challenging moment where I wanted them to be 19, right? And now when they're 19, you want them to be 5 again.
No,
so,
I don't want my kids to be 5 again.
No, I get it.
That's for sure.
I get that. I understand that for you. I do. But I still do. I miss that in a sense. I miss that.
No, I totally know what you mean.
That
I do
it's
too.
like, it's such
For
unconditional
sure.
love.
No, for sure.
That
Yeah.
I never knew I could be loved like that. I never knew I could love like that, And then here we are.
Yeah, I mean, I think just what I want to share is that, just in the theme of that thinking today, it can be just really challenging to be a human some days, and that we have to,
I didn't want to.
especially if you're on the path.
Oh, this fucking path.
You can, well, if you're like me, you can tend to be very hard on yourself. And so I think the biggest lesson I've learned in the last year, or the biggest change that's happened to me, and the biggest tool I've integrated, is just so much compassion and love for myself when I'm going through it and talking. It's like activating my quadrant 4 and my quadrant 2. My quadrant 4 is like so there for my quadrant 2. And really, it's like reparenting yourself, because that little child always lives in you. Always, 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 always. It doesn't go away. So, having, today, and I've noticed that change in me because, even today, you know, he was sharing, you know, he was going through some really rough things, really, you know, deep down things. And before, I would have immediately in my head wanted to find a solution and tell him the solutions. And
But there
because
are
it's
no
hard to
solutions
watch
when
somebody
you're
you
there.
love go through that,
Yeah,
you
but
know?
there are no solutions.
But that's
You
the
know?
thing, is there is no solution in that moment. He just needs to be held
Yeah.
and told it's okay, just like we all do.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what, you know, as a couple, as partners, that's what we are really good at. Listen,
Yeah,
I
but
know-
that
I
took
know
me
you're-
a long time to be
well, I
okay
know,
with that,
obviously.
because
I know, but we are, you know, like you said, and I've
Yeah.
said the same thing to you. This is, I know you're in it, and
yeah,
I so respect it. I can't imagine what you're feeling right now.
yeah,
You know, the sun's coming up tomorrow, but I totally get it, and I'm here.
mhm,
I'm not going anywhere. I'm here. If you want to talk, if you want to let it out, you go let it out. I'm not going to tell you it's going to be any better.
mhm,
I'm not going to tell you it's going to get any worse. I'm not
Yeah.
going to tell you any of that
yeah,
because you can't hear it.
no,
So it's just, you just be what you need to be right now. And to be able to do that for each other, I think it is.
well,
one of
the
great-
only way we can do it for each other is if we're able to do that for ourselves.
Yeah. Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
and
Well, you know
the
what? I
more-
think, honestly, I think it was easier for me to do it for you.
Mm.
And then because I am, what did I say when we were in Wawa? I'm on duty. I'm on duty, right? I'm in the protection mode of my woman. I'm on duty. So I got to stay with you, right? But
what
in
about the
doing
people
that-
who have no one but themselves?
in
That's a
doing
great question.
Yeah.
Commented that.
huh?
Someone just asked, what about the people that have no one but themselves?
100%.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Even
is,
more so.
Yeah, you have to and learn how to do that for yourself.
And you deserve it even more to be
Yeah.
able, you know what I mean? Like, you have to be the one that cares for yourself while you're in it, which is
Absolutely.
really a challenge to do.
Yeah.
So
it takes
that's why you
practice.
really need to have the tools.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have the tools. Like, you could go listen to a Lionel Richie song or whatever, some song that you had when you were a kid that instantly made you feel really good. But sometimes you just don't want to do it. You don't want to put it on. And you can honor that. You're allowed to feel like shit if you feel like shit.
For sure.
You're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
So that's why I say sometimes the answer is just to sit in it until you get so fucking tired of sitting in it. You say, now it's time to wake up. Now it's time to change. Now it's time to get out of bed. I can't do this anymore. But sometimes it takes you doing it for long enough that you say, you get so tired of it and you just say, well, I'm not doing that anymore. And you don't.
Yeah, I think
But it's a fine line
It is.
between that moment and the moment where you don't get up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll
and
never
I-
forget that. Like when I was paralyzed and I asked him when I was leaving the hospital, you know, okay, where was I? 1 being piece of cake, 10 being the absolute worst you've ever seen. 8.5. Wow, 8.5. What happens to a 9? Doesn't get out of bed. And that is the truth. Like, so that 8.5, I knew right then, enough of this bullshit, enough of this shit. I got a fucking life to live. You know, I got, you know, people that depend on me, whatever. I need me. But then there's the 9 that just gives up. And I think we've all watched so many people fucking give up. And we need heroes now. We need the 1980 fucking, you know, Olympic ice hockey team now. That's what we fucking need here. We need people that are going to show up and say, I can't do that anymore. I can't complain anymore. I can't sit there and cry about this, this, and this anymore. I just got to find fucking happiness somewhere. And we need that now. We all do. That's my little preaching. That's my little sermon for the night.
Thank you. Yeah,
so
I think learning the process and finding the tools to be able to hold space for yourself is one of the biggest gifts I've given to myself, and the biggest tool that's made the difference. So
That's right.
in honor of that,
I'm
you're
gonna go
back
meet my Wawa
home.
Hoagie.
Thank you, Relaxing Sounds. Thank you for watching, and thank you for interacting and asking questions. We love that, and we appreciate your time and energy.
We do.
Um,
And everyone's journey. We
and
really
Murphy
do.
says hello.
Yeah. He's like, there's a dog out there, Dad.
All right, well, hopefully we'll be back tomorrow. This was day 7. 7 of 7 days we made it. Live stream for 7 days.
Yeah.
I really want to come back tomorrow, so we'll see.
We shall come back tomorrow then.
Make sure you're subscribed and click the bell, because then you'll be notified if we do come live tomorrow, because I still have a whole host of questions.
A whole host.
So thank you all.
Peace out,
We
people.
love you. Have a great evening.